Hello again, everyone. Dennis Sullivan here, Sports Snippets, Sunday the 26th of January 2020. Here to talk to you about, in today's video, LeBron's chase for the all-time leading scorer, who is, by the way, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, and what it will take LeBron to become the all-time leading scorer in the NBA. And boy, I tell you, when I kind of did a little research on this, I stumbled upon a few interesting tidbits, if you will, and I'll share those with you. And this is a topic that we're starting to see come up a little bit more now, that LeBron, as a matter of fact, has just recently moved into third on the all-time NBA scoring list. So he is currently third all-time as far as the all-time leading scorers go in the National Basketball Association. If you do like the content of this video, please don't forget to like and subscribe. And of course, if you do subscribe, which would be awesome, feel free to go ahead and click on the notification bell there to receive future videos as well. So let's get right into it, guys. I tell you, I mean, I was looking into this. A lot of what I'm about to go over with you, much of it I knew, some of it I had to be reminded of, and it actually, and I'm kind of sharing this with you because it really proved to be a very worthwhile exercise, really, for myself, because it brought back some memories. It brought back a few things, especially when I get into Michael Jordan in a second, that kind of were somewhat forgotten, at least by this NBA fan here over the years. So everyone, I'm going to start off with, right behind me here, we have the top five. These are the top five all-time leading scorers in the NBA, and up to the minute, if you will, scoring totals. Now, of course, of these five, four are retired, LeBron James being the only one who is still is an active player. Just to give you a little bit of insight, I'm going to talk a little bit too about shooting percentages, something pretty interesting I discovered. Scoring averages, very, very close. But Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, let's get things started with him. So Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, I mean, he is, of course, as it stands right now in January of 2020, and at least for the next couple of years, he is the all-time leading scorer in the NBA with 38,387 points. For those of you who are old enough to remember Kareem, I mean, he had a style that has yet to be duplicated. That's the unique thing about Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. He had that sky hook right over the defender. I mean, of course, being 7'2" didn't hurt matters either, but you're talking about a 7'2" center who basically had a shot that was, for the most part, unstoppable. And he was a highly skilled player. Now, Kareem was a six-time MVP in the NBA and also had 6 championship rings. And we talk about rings and doing this and doing that. And Kareem's right there with everyone. I mean, you know, if you're a younger NBA fan, which certainly I can't expect you to quite remember his career, and even look at myself, for example. I more or less remember the second half of his career, as he played from 1969 to 1989. He also, in addition to the 6 championship rings, he had 2 finals MVPs, would play in 19 All-Star games. Kareem also played 4 years at UCLA, first team All-American 3 times. He won 3 national championships with the UCLA Bruins in 1967, 68, and 69. They had those unstoppable teams, as you may recall, with John Wooden. Kareem, but without question, as far as accolades and accomplishments, I mean, this guy is like, he's right there with everyone else. You can make the argument he still is, as far as accomplishments are concerned, the greatest basketball player of all time. Karl Malone checks in number 2, all-time leading scorer, 36,928 points. Everyone, he was phenomenal. I mean, power forward, great scorer. Played with the great John Stockton for years for the Utah Jazz. Played in 2 NBA Finals with the Jazz. Also would play a 3rd NBA Final series in 2004 with the Lakers, and unfortunately would fall short in that as well, in that which I believe was his final season. I could be wrong on that one, but that was right at the end of his career, though. So Karl Malone did play in 3 NBA Finals, did not win a Finals, though. But this guy, win an NBA championship, but this guy was phenomenal, durable, played practically every game, scored, had a long career. And I would also discover was in the playoffs every single season. I read that. He never had a season where he wasn't in the playoffs. So that's amazing. Karl Malone and his resume, if you will, also played 3 seasons at Louisiana Tech University and was a star player for Louisiana Tech. Number 3, of course, is LeBron James. We're going to get back to LeBron as the second part of this video and I'm going to discuss what he's going to need to do to catch Kareem, because it's a little bit more complex than you may think. Number 4 on our list, Kobe Bryant, fantastic player, as we all know, was number 3 on the all-time list, just got passed by LeBron over the weekend. He sits at 33,643 points. He has the NBA titles, one of the greatest scorers, obviously, of all time. He's a phenomenal player. Some fans think he is the greatest scorer. I mean, there's really there's no criticism of a Kobe Bryant. The guy's done pretty much everything there is to do on the court in his career. Michael Jordan. Okay, we're gonna expand a little bit on number 5, as you may have predicted. Michael Jordan checks in as the 5th all-time scorer in the NBA. However, if we're going to put an asterisk anywhere, it's going next to that name, Michael Jordan. I'm going to explain why right now. Jordan, as you may recall, now he checks in number 5 all-time leading scorer, 32,292 points. Of course, he has, can we say more about Michael Jordan? I mean, the NBA titles, the finals MVPs. He would play at North Carolina University. First of all, guys, as you may recall, in 1982, he had that infamous game-winning shot in his college career to win the title for the Tar Heels. He played in 101 college basketball games over a 3-year span. And Michael Jordan also had, I believe it was in his 2nd season, he only played like 18 or 19 games due to injury. He had another similar season to that later in his career. He played minor league baseball, as you may recall, in the mid-90s. Basically took a year off. And then his career would end. He had a couple of retirements as well, as you also may recall. He retired for 3 full seasons, nowhere to be found on an NBA court, and then he plays his final 2 seasons with Washington. Scores just under 23 points a game his first season back, his last season in the NBA. Now, a few moments ago I stumbled upon a couple of things that just kind of like threw me off a little bit, like, wow, I kind of remember that, but I really don't. Here's a big one. In Michael Jordan's last season in the NBA, he played all 82 games. He would play in all 82 games, guys, in the 2002-2003 season, and he averaged an even 20 points per game. So his last 2 years or 2 seasons, He would not play for the Bulls. He played for the Bulls his whole career. Takes 3 years off, comes back for 2 years with Washington, averages just under 23 and then an even 20 points a game, and plays in all 82 games. So, I mean, that was amazing. Jordan was the number one all-time scorer in terms of points per game average, checking in with 30.12. He edges out Wilt Chamberlain in that category. Wilt was over 30 as well. He was right around 30.07-ish. Jordan edges him 30.12. Now, if you were to ask me let's say a few months ago or even a few weeks ago, I would have probably told you that Jordan was second all-time in scoring average, but actually he was number one and is number one amongst the top scorers in points per game average at 30.12. In the opinion of this sports fan, there's no question Michael Jordan would be the all-time leading scorer had he not played minor league baseball, had he stayed playing in the NBA prior to the 3-year absence where he would play for a final 2 years. There was a little bit of health setbacks as well. I mean, we can't hold that. In other words, we can't just give him a break on that. But had he played even half of those 3 seasons prior to the last 2 with Washington, had he not played in the minor league baseball and dabbled in minor league baseball, there's no reason why he wouldn't be the number one all-time scorer in the NBA. Now, and he didn't, he perhaps didn't, and I never heard Jordan say anything about this, but maybe he really didn't value that all-time list, as an all-time or maybe as a career goal of his. Now, the fact that he played minor league baseball, hey, that's his choice. I mean, it's his life. He can do whatever he wants. I mean, I'm not going to be critical of that. But as far as, here's the final point I'm going to get to on Michael Jordan. He was the greatest scorer, as far as scoring points, ever. This guy was the greatest scorer of all time. You can say he was the greatest player of all time, and that's probably a different discussion for a different day. With the top 5 scoring averages on the top 5, everyone they're all pretty much virtually the same. Kareem checks in 24.6. Karl Malone just over 25 a game. Career scoring average 25.02. LeBron, of these 5, LeBron is in second place. Career scoring average 27.10. Kobe's right there with everyone else, 24.99. What is very impressive, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar clearly had the best field goal percentage at 55.9. He's right under 56% from the field. Number 2 in this category was Karl Malone at 51.6. LeBron was right there at 50%, or he's still playing, of course, in the NBA, 50.4%. Very good. Jordan just behind him, 49.7% from the field. Considering Jordan was a big scorer, had to take a lot of shots, that's pretty good, 49.7 from the field. Kobe, 44.7. So this is some list here. How about that team? As far as going onto the court, who would actually take the shots? I mean, they need 5 basketballs just to play the game because there wouldn't be enough shots to go around. So that was very interesting. Just to open up some side points for you guys, just touch on some of the careers here of the all-time leading scorers, 2 of which, make that 3 of which played in the NCAA, played college basketball. Of course, Kareem played 4 years UCLA. Karl Malone, 3 seasons, Louisiana Tech. Jordan, 3 seasons, North Carolina Tar Heels. LeBron and Kobe did not play college basketball in the NCAA college basketball. So this is, I know, one of the arguments. What if Kareem started playing in the NBA at age 19? What if Jordan played a year or two earlier, never went to North Carolina? What if Karl Malone never played 3 years at Louisiana Tech? Okay, LeBron and Kobe. Now, this is again not to hold anything back. They've had tremendous careers, deserve to be in the top five. They got started a little bit earlier by not playing in college, guys. It's really that simple, right? Late teens, something like that. I don't have the exact age when they started, 19, 20, something like that. Something to think about. Something to think about. I was looking for a little bit of a kind of side, maybe is there some reason why Kareem, I was almost looking for a defense of the others, why Kareem is still number one. Is there any illegitimacy to that? There's not, guys. There is not. As a matter of fact, that era had some really good centers as well. When you talk about Bob Lanier, Artis Gilmore, Bill Walton was tremendous. I mean, you had Robert Parrish was another one. I mean, Kareem had to go up against some really good center and some really good defensive centers. There's no lack of substance in those 38,387 points, folks. None whatsoever. Last but not least, I want to touch on what LeBron's going to need to do to catch Kareem. LeBron is 35 years old. He's got 26 games left this season. My analysis here, this is all now rough estimate time of the video. I'm going to just give you some estimates. LeBron plays 24 of the 26 games. I think that's pretty. He may play a little more. Who knows? Maybe he gets an injury or he gets a setback or they rest him. Maybe he plays a little less. But there's 26 games left this season, and I'm going to factor this in for the next 2 NBA seasons. Okay, guys, so that's the years 2021 next season, and then the season after that, 21-22. LeBron is averaging 25.3 points, a little bit over 25 points a game this season. If he plays in 70 games of the 82 next year and 70 games of the 82 the year after, now who knows? Maybe he plays a little more. I don't know. We don't know what's going to happen there. That would give him 160. That's going to give him 164 games played if we factor in. Now, again, this is all averages. 24 games left, 26 left this year. He plays in 24. Plays 70 next year, 70 the year after. If he averages 25 points a game, that'll give him an extra 4,100 points. He will be somewhere in the neighborhood of a little over 600 points shy of Kareem if he were to do that. Now, if he plays 24 more games this year, 75 the next year, not easy to do. 75 the year after. It's going to give him 174 games in this example. If he stays at 25 a game, not easy to do. Through this year and the next 2 years, it's going to put him at 4,350 in terms of additional points, pulling him even closer to Kareem. He needs 47-32. If he plays practically every game remaining this year, 75 of 82 next year, 75 of 82 the year after, that's going to put him about right around 400, just under 400 points shy of Kareem's record. He needs roughly 47-32 going into today's games, which is Sunday the 26th. I don't think the Lakers play today, but even if they do. So he needs 47-32. Now, should LeBron, I'll finish off this video with this last thought. Now, those examples are at 25 points a game. That's a lot of scoring. That means he has to maintain his current scoring over this season and the remaining 2 seasons, or the next 2 seasons. Should his scoring average fall a couple of points? The final examples on if LeBron averages 23 points a game, plays 24 out of 26 this year, 70 of 82 next year, 70 of 82 the next year, 164 games at 23 points a game will put him at 37-72, somewhere around there. He's still 900 and some odd points away from Kareem. He averages 23 points a game, remainder of this year and the next 2 years at 174 games, means he's got to stay durable, play 75 out of 82, 75 out of 82. He will score an additional 4,002 points, leaving him right around 730 points short. So guys, and we look into this season, right? When we start next season, right after the season gets started, maybe a month or 2 later, LeBron will turn 36. At the end of that's the end as next season gets started, because LeBron's birthday is right at the end of the year. It's like December 30th, I believe, 1984. So he will turn 36, let's just say pretty much as next year gets started. I mean, technically no, but... And then we'll turn 37 the following year. He's going to need that year, no doubt, if he's going to catch Kareem. And then if he needs more time, he's going to need the next year, he's going to be 38. So LeBron's 35 now. He's a young 35, meaning I think he turned about a month ago, not even. He turned 35. He's played many years in the league. Many years in the league. I just mapped out for you just some estimates of what he's going to have to do. Now, if he misses games, doesn't play at least 70, 75 games over this season, I mean, well, the 24, the 26 to end the season, at least 70 to 75 next year and the year after. If that doesn't happen and he doesn't score at least 23 points a game, then the calculations shift a little more. He's going to need more time. Now we're heading into the late 30s, the very late 30s. So a lot of this, as you know, surprise, surprise, depends upon LeBron's ability to stay durable. No doubt in my mind he'll stay productive. But this, I tell you, this record, not so easy to get. Not easy at all. Kareem set a high standard as far as all-time leading scorer to NBA. What do you think? What do you think is going to happen? Because if this happens, we got a couple of years, guys. He's not going to catch Kareem for a good couple of years if he does catch Kareem. Personally, I think he has a very good chance to do it, but I'll end this video by saying it's not going to come easy, folks. So if you like the content of this video, please don't forget to like and subscribe. Feel free to leave a comment. I'd like to hear what you think about this topic. If you think Kareem's record is in jeopardy, will LeBron catch him? Leave your comments below. This is Dennis Sullivan, Sports Snippets. I had a little bit of a longer video today. Glad you were able to stick around and watch the video, and I appreciate that. And I hope you enjoyed this little exercise. I learned a few things along the way. Hope you did too. And I will see you next time. Thank you.